kind of a side point, but also a point that you like to make, is that that stickiness factor is just super good, right? I mean, once you get in, it's terrific. But I did want to ask you this question, and is it clear to you or not that the primary audience for Crossing the Chasm is B2B? Or would you say it's B2C too?
No, it's not. No, it's very much B2B. The whole, if you remember when Crossing the Chasm, I mean, you and I are old enough to actually go back to 1990. So the book came out in 1991. And in 1991, there really wasn't a consumer PC market, tech market to speak of. There was a little bit of gaming, but it wasn't much. And so the entire model was B2B. When B2C came on, and really came into power, I would say in the 2000s, right? After the millennium started. Crossing the Chasm, you could sort of make a case for it sort of works, but it's really not designed for it. I used to try to make the case, well, Facebook started at Harvard, and then it went to the Ivy League, and then it went to colleges, and then it went to high schools. And yeah, there's a certain amount of truth in that. But the truth is, consumer buying decisions have much less risk, which means you can go broader faster because the consumer can buy it and throw it away. Whereas a business buying decision is always reviewed by many people, has to go through a purchase order, has to go through the approval cycle. And so for that, then Crossing the Chasm is absolutely necessary, because you have to have a playbook to get through that very challenging purchasing decision.
Just as an observation, maybe this is sideways from our conversation, but one of the upshots, I think, of going B2C or software to C, think of the App Store, is there's very much less friction to get people out the door. They'll take it, and they've reduced the friction to zero in many cases by taking the price of the app down to zero. And then you have a situation where they want you to do in-app purchases, and those in-app purchases become astronomical at some point. Yeah. And so I know myself, whenever I look at an app like that says in-app purchases, I'm actually stopping myself, not starting myself. I don't know how you feel about that. But.
Well, it's so the whole. I mean, I can remember when the consumer thing first started talking, and you had people giving software away. So you're Microsoft, and Google is giving away Microsoft Office. I mean, they were calling it Google Apps, but they were saying, how's that possible? And part of the answer was, well, they're monetizing it with advertising, not with licensing. But part of it, as you point out, was in-apps purchasing. And part of it was somebody said early on, well, you know what URL really stands for? And I said, no. They said, ubiquity now, revenue later. And so you give it away and it goes viral, and then you capture the revenue later. Well, that is a consumer tactic that if you can be viral, which means you have to be cool. I don't know about your adolescence, but cool avoided me. I didn't actually ever become cool, so that's why I'm not a consumer marketer. But if you can become cool, you have these huge wins. But as you well know, for every huge win we have in the consumer, there's lots and lots of smoking craters of people who poured a lot of money in and didn't get any out.